Hi everyone, welcome back for another whiskey review. Well, it's 2025, 6th of February, Waitangi Day, a very special day in New Zealand celebrating our national identity. And I've been sitting here tonight on a great journey of discovering new Islay whiskey drams and just transported into just this amazing wonderland full of peatiness, smokiness of well-aged drams. Started with a relatively young 10-year-old Aerolite Lindsay, which is an independent bottling by Character Islay Whisky Company, who also have done this amazing tasting pack. And then I reviewed a Octomore 16-year-old, a really smooth, uber sweet, uber rich with gentle smoke whiskey. Then the Grace Isle 25-year-old, which had a bit more punch to it, but again, just presented itself really nice. And then I did the whiskey number 4, the ultra luxurious, just madness of the 33-year-old Fiona. I was just gonna say a wrong name, Fiona McLeod, 33-year-old, released by Character Islay. And now on to whiskey number 5, and the last one, sadly, out of the pack. And there's a particular reason why I left it to last, but just before I get into it, and if you haven't seen the other videos, this is the actual sort of box that come in. Your whiskies are very carefully put in there. You can retrieve them with this beautiful wax seal on the top. And it also comes with this amazing postcard with an amazing vista of a distillery on Islay, and it says, "Wish we were here." And I've said it a few times in the reviews I've done tonight. I wish I was on Islay right now. Like, I missed that place. I had the most amazing time on it in 2018. I just terribly missed that place. It's so beautiful. Just really connects you with nature, plus a gentle supply of peated whiskies. Now, the reason why I left this to last is because while I've been on a very selfish pursuit of Islay whiskies tonight, unfortunately, 4 of the 5 whiskies on here are not available in New Zealand. The Aerolite Lindsay used to be here 4 years ago, but it's not available anymore. I've tried looking up for it, and obviously the 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th were one-off releases that were released 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. So unfortunately, the only way you can try at least a 2, 3, 4 sample out of this pack is by buying one of these sample packs, which a very few are left in New Zealand. So get amongst it while they last, otherwise they're gone forever. But the reason I left Octomore to last is so I can talk for a little bit more extent about it, because there's so much of the Octomore. Obviously not this one in particular. This is a one-off release used by these guys, but there are a lot of other Octomore quite readily available, and there's steady supply of new releases all of the time. So it allows me to, I guess, educate and hopefully get you guys choosing this particular whiskey to add to your collection, to try it. Because there's a lot of people out there who are scared of Octomore. Don't need to be scared of it. You know, you just got to take your time to decipher the flavors and smell, the really, really challenging flavors and smells. But once you sort of navigate your way through it, you are rewarded, despite its young age. You know, this is only a 9-year-old whiskey, 9-year. Bottled at a very generous and odd 50% ABV, so obviously watered down. Otherwise, you know, cask at 9-year-old from Riclardi, who makes Octomore, I would guess would be at 62, 63% still. And when you buy the normal Octomore range, which come from anywhere from 5 to 7, 8, there's even a 10-year-old now, and there's some even older stock coming really, really soon into New Zealand. They are a very high ABV, usually closer to the 60%. So this has definitely been watered down for this release for these guys to put into their sample packs. Now the Octomore let's talk a little bit about that, because there will be a lot of people out there who've never tried it or have looked at it from a safe distance and thought, this is not for me. I'm scared, because Octomore, made by Bruichladdich, is marketed or classed as the most peated whiskies to come out of Islay, which is okay. That's fine. You know, they're working really hard, and they're using a great process to, I guess, get the ppm, which is the way you measure the peatiness of a whiskey, they're high, but they're not smoky. They are not ash bombs like your Lafroig and Ardbegs can be, especially young Ardbeg and Lafroig. They can be quite brash, quite rough on the nose and on the palate, but this is not at all. And I'm going to obviously talk a bit about flavors and smells of this particular whiskey. Now, the tasting notes for this are quite confusing for me. I did actually run my eyes over it before, but let's see if I agree with them. You know, let's go through the process of nosing and tasting them for the review. All right, on the nose first. Ooh. The lovely peaty character is there. Yes. Not much sweetness on the nose up front. That peatiness hit me on the nostril straight away. But like I've been saying in the video, not in a crazy amount like the Lafroig and the Ardbeg. They have this distinct sort of medicinal character on the nose, which I personally enjoy. I really love it, but it puts off people who don't like smoky whiskies. Whereas this is quite approachable on the nose. Yes. There's gentle sweetness hiding behind that peaty character. I just can't quite put my finger on it. And I don't want to say honey, because it's not honeyed sweetness. One thing I didn't comment on is the color. Very light in color, which is, again, me thinking ex-bourbon cask aging, most likely, you know. Who knows? I guess it is, yeah. Oh, that might be I might be misleading some people. I should be careful what I say. Not misleading, but like the peatiness out of this is growing now. It's been probably a minute since the whiskey's been in my glass, and it's ever increasing, but it's still not crazy amounts like the Lafroig and Ardbeg. It doesn't have that medicinal note. Just has that gentle peaty character. Really good. I just still can't quite pick that sweetness. All right, let's see what they say. And I did say before that I will disagree with it, but milky coffee and vanilla pot, I don't get that. No. It says coastal air and seaweed. Yep, I agree with that, you know, intertwining with that. But it's got this distinct sweetness, and I just can't quite put my finger on it, what it is. That's okay. We'll move on. Maybe it will come to me a bit later on in the review. Let's see what this 9-year-old Octomore is like on the palate. It's been a very, very long time. Been at least a year since I tried Octomore. I'm just thinking, I probably don't even have an open bottle of Octomore right now, which I need to fix, obviously. I think this will create cravings for a solid peat bomb to be added to my shelves. All right, let's see. Oh, wow. Peat galore. Really good. And just the gentle amount of that smoke is there with rich vanilla sweetness. Rich. Really sweet. Oh, wow. Okay. If you don't like peated smoky whiskeys, you just stay away. Just disregard everything I said earlier, because this is going to annoy you. But for us, Islay Whisky fans, there will be more for us. So that's okay. You drink something else. You can try a nice Highland or Benriach or from Speyside, some of the others, mainland peated whiskies, you just leave more and more of the Octomore for people like us who can handle it and enjoy it. Oh, this is really, really, really nice whiskey. For a young whiskey, this is really nice. Definitely just on a whole different level compared to the 10-year-old Adelaide Lindsay, which was the first whiskey I tried out of the sample pack. Just on a whole different level. Oh. And despite its youthfulness and the high ABV, there's no burn. There's no alcohol burn on the palate. You know, it's a relatively young whiskey, but there's no burn at all. Seems all very, very well balanced. And the sweetness is still there. It's not lingering in terms of sweetness as much as I want it to be, but the smoky peatiness is there. It's lingering. And what did they say about their own finish? Nutty on the finish, but once again, still peaty. Yes, I agree. I don't get the nuttiness, I'm sorry, but definitely that gentle peat is just lingering. Really delicious, yummy, very, very nice. Oh, wow. Really good. Well, this kind of finishes, and it says in the box, finishes my pilgrimage to Islay tonight on 6th of February 2025. Waitangi Day, a very special day in New Zealand, celebrating our national identity. Finally getting stuck into this character of Islay Whisky Company tasting pack. Just fantastic value for money relative to what kind of money you like to spend on whiskies. But for $85, you're getting to try a really good entry-level 10-year-old single malt in way of Adelaide Lindsay, followed by a single cask Bowmore. I'd hate to guess how much that whiskey is. A single cask Bowmore. We don't even get official bottlings of Bowmore in the country properly, but you're going to get to try a single cask Bowmore, aged for 16 years, plus 2 unknown Islay samples, a Grey Isle 25-year-old, and a Fiona McLeod 33-year-old whiskey. How often, just think, how often have you tried a 33-year-old Islay whiskey and finishing on a robust and full of flavor Octomore 9-year-old? But just remember what I said earlier, there's a lot of Octomore available. So if it's someone, you know, if you are someone who can handle the peat and the smoky characters and want to explore some real crazy drams, go down the Octomore route. There's a lot available and you will be rewarded. Well, that's all I've got to say about this particular whiskey and this tasting pack. Thank you so much for watching. I'll come back with another whiskey review really soon, but please do like, share, subscribe. Leave in the comments, you know, if you think you know what some of the unnamed whiskey samples were, especially number 2, 3, and 4, the unnamed Islay whiskies. Otherwise, I'll see you in the very near future for another whiskey review. See you later. Bye-bye.